YouTube is on fire again, and this time, it's not about some influencer drama or prank gone wrong. This time, it's all about the rap game and a list that's stirring up a lot more than just opinions. Complex, the media outlet known for dropping lists that go viral like clockwork, is back at it again. But instead of fans nodding their heads in agreement, this one has people shaking their heads in disbelief. Especially one man, The Game. And when The Game talks, you know it's about to get loud. Let's be real. Every year, Complex drops these top lists. Top artists, top albums, top whatever. And every year, people argue about it. That's kind of the whole point, right? Get people worked up, get people talking, get clicks. But this time, it wasn't just any list. It was their take on the top 50 rappers from Los Angeles. LA, the city that's been the birthplace of legends in hip-hop. The place where rap styles are born and beefs are brewed. So when you put out a list ranking LA rappers, you better be ready for the heat. And Complex wasn't ready. You know how this works. Some folks in a room with notepads and opinions got together and decided they were going to judge LA rappers based on skill, catalog, commercial success, and influence. Sounds fair. Until you read who made the list and where they landed. Right off the bat, at number 50, they put Blueface. Yeah, Blueface, the guy best known for rapping off beat and going viral more for his antics than his bars. Complex thought. He was one of the top 50 rappers in all of LA history. But it gets worse. At number 46, they placed Crooked I. One of the most respected lyricists, a guy who's been praised for his pen and flow, somehow lands lower than rappers who, let's be honest, wouldn't survive a bar-for-bar battle with him. Number 26, an artist named DOAT. And let's be clear, most people watching the video had never even heard of him. The sarcasm from the host was dripping. Like, really? DOAT over Crooked I. Then came number 25, Tyga. Now, nobody's saying Tyga doesn't make hits. His songs get played, people dance, the clubs love him. But better than Crooked I? Or even in the top 25 of LA's best rappers of all time? It's hard to nod to that without breaking your neck. The Game himself landed at number 11. And that's where the real fireworks started. The Game is not shy. He's never been the kind of rapper to sit back quietly while someone ranks him below where he thinks he should be. And in this case, he believes he should be number one. At the very least, top 3. And honestly, that's not an outlandish claim. His album, The Documentary, is widely seen as a modern classic. It put the West Coast back on the map when it was starting to fade in the early 2000s. And his lyricism, storytelling, and consistency over the years can't be ignored. But Complex ignored that. Or at least they downplayed it. They put him below Nipsey Hussle, Eazy-E, Be Real, Ice-T, DJ Quick, Tyler, The Creator, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and Kendrick Lamar. And while some of those names make sense, legends who helped shape the genre, it's easy to see why the Game felt slighted, especially with Kendrick Lamar at number 1. That's when things got interesting, because there's been a quiet tension between the Game and Kendrick for years. It's not a full-blown beef, but it's not exactly brotherly love either. When Kendrick recently held his Pop-Out concert, a show meant to bring the West. Together, the Game wasn't there. People noticed. People asked why. And when asked, the Game gave a very diplomatic answer. He said it wasn't his beef, referring to Kendrick's war with Drake. He said Kendrick didn't need him there and that Kendrick was doing amazing on his own. It was the right thing to say. But underneath that answer, you could still hear the disappointment. The Game feels he helped pave the way. He was one of the guys who helped pass the torch to Kendrick when the time was right. And now, with Kendrick sitting at the top of the list and the Game on the outside of the top 10, it feels like he's being erased from his own legacy. And he let Complex know it. He took to social media and told Complex they were out of their minds. He said putting him at number 11 was nasty work, and that this was all the motivation he needed to finish The Documentary 3. The long-awaited sequel to his legendary debut. He said, y'all got Game effed up. And maybe he has a point. When you look at who's active and still putting out music, the top 10 gets thinner. Nipsey is gone, Eazy-E is gone, Ice-T is more of a TV star now. DJ Quick, Dre, Ice Cube, none of them are dropping regular albums. Even Tyler, while creative and successful, isn't always in the traditional hip-hop lane. Kendrick, of course, is the king right now. But even that crown has started to wobble a little in the public's eye. The game sees this as the perfect moment to remind people who he is. And if you know anything about hip-hop, you know that competition fuels greatness. If this list is what lights a fire under the game, then it might be the best thing Complex ever did, even if they didn't mean to. Even the Joe Budden podcast chimed in. When they compared the documentary to Kendrick's Good Kid, M.A.D. City, there was no clear winner. Some gave the edge to Game in terms of rapping, others leaned toward Kendrick for production and storytelling, but no one said the Game didn't belong in the conversation. And that says a lot, because Good Kid, M.A.D. City is considered one of the best albums in hip-hop history. For the documentary to even be in the same discussion shows just how important the Game has been. But not everyone agrees. Some say the Game never really got full credit for the documentary because of the involvement of 50 Cent and G-Unit. There were rumors that a lot of the album's tracks were leftovers from Get Rich or Die Trying. And because of that, some purists don't see it as a fully West Coast album. That kind of stuff affects how people see his place in the game, even if it's not totally fair. Now no one's saying the Game and Kendrick are about to go at it. This isn't a Drake versus Kendrick kind of situation, at least not yet. But the Game clearly feels some type of way. He wants his respect. And if he's serious about finishing the documentary 3, this list might have been the perfect launch pad for his comeback. You can love or hate the Game, but you can't ignore him. His place in LA's rap history is secure, even if Complex doesn't want to admit it. And whether you agree with their list or not, one thing's for sure, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It got people talking, it got rappers reacting, and it gave fans a reason to go back and listen to some old classics. So what happens next? Maybe the Game drops a new album that reminds everyone why he should never be counted out. Maybe Kendrick responds in his own quiet way by simply continuing to dominate. Or maybe, just maybe, this list sparks a new fire in LA's rap scene. A little competition never hurt. In fact, it's what keeps hip-hop alive. Either way, the fans win, because the spotlight is back on LA, and the artists are ready to show who really belongs at the top.